impressive response. Some disappointment on the road a week ago, but that goes by the wayside as the Blue Devils lead wire to wire and roll past the 49ers, 80-56, the final score.
I'm proud of the response, proud of the effort, but we have to do more for Tuesday.
Hofstra was game, particularly in the first 20 minutes. They led 37-32, but the Blue Devils went on a 12-2 push before the break. And in the second half, they outscore the Pride 45-29. And in the end, they win it by 21. 89-68, the final score, as the Blue Devils blow it open in the second half.
We had some great connecting plays, but I thought our defense, holding them to 29 points in the second half, really proud of the effort. We did a great job just controlling them.
When you come off those two losses against Georgia Tech and Arkansas, you have the week pause. There's 3 losses on the year. You're 5-3. None of our guys thought we'd be in that position. There's no question. And so, the journey takes you places you don't want to go, or you don't think you're supposed to go or should go. But it's how you react and how you respond as you go along the journey. And so for our guys, I'm really proud of how they responded, how they attacked practice, how they took responsibility. And we had a meeting as a team, and we talked about every one of us taking responsibility, where you have to have ownership and think about what you can do that's you're not doing right now, what you can do in a better way, and then make it happen every single day. And so for us, we've talked a lot about habits. We need to build those habits where it becomes just what we do.
Yeah, that was it. Just trying to figure out, the identity and adjust. The one thing about basketball and sports and competition in general, nothing ever goes as planned. So what you think may be your identity until you play certain games is something completely different. So I think we had enough data and enough games to understand we had to adjust and change and kind of do something different than we thought we were going to be able to do initially. And Coach Scheyer did a great job of just coming in and say, hey, let's look at everything from ground zero and see what fits this team and where we know we are and what we have and the guys and how they are and their strengths and weaknesses and how can we be the best version of us. And so that's really, really a testament to him to be able to come in and do that instead of just saying, no, we continue to do what we're doing and we just got to do it better instead of looking like maybe it's not working, let's change and let's adjust.
Identity is huge, and you always feel in the preseason, you think you know what your identity is going to be as a team, but until the season starts and you get a better feel, especially for our teams because we're younger, so you still have, of our rotation players, the majority are freshmen and sophomores, almost all of them. And so for our guys, they're still developing, and so the identity is going to continue to evolve. Although, for me, in my experience being a Duke basketball player, a Duke coach, our identity is found on defense. That's what this program has been about. And so for us, we've had to get back to that. We've had to rededicate ourselves to defending every possession, rebounding every possession, diving on the floor, and doing all those things. And the rest falls into place from there.
On the right, Milicic went between the legs and lost it. Roach out of there with it. Ahead to Blanks for a right-hand punch. My goodness.
Coming off the Arkansas and Georgia Tech game, for us, it was the longest stretch of practice that we had since the beginning of the season. And so you, of course, have the fresh wounds from losing both of those games and the experiences that come with that. So there's immediate things you need to address, but also through the course of the year, really, it was the best chance we had to look in the mirror and say, what do we have to do better? And first and foremost for us, we needed to develop a tougher edge, on defense, where we guarded the ball first and foremost, where we have 5 guys moving together on the defensive end, finishing possessions. And offensively, as a coaching staff, we had to do a better job of getting more movement, getting our guys to relax, play free, play with poise. As I look back on those games, we missed a lot of open shots, and some of that can come from pressure or feeling too tight, or also just the flow of the game with how it's going. And so we really worked hard. We had 5 straight days of practice, which was much needed. And to our guys' credit, all of our players really responded and attacked those days hard.
Here's McCain already with 1-3. That one wouldn't go. Young, an offensive rebound. Back up top, Blakes. Thinking about it. He'll launch and knock it down.
Against Charlotte, I saw a lot of the things that we worked on translate, and you need an opportunity in order for that to happen. And the opportunity to play Charlotte was a great one. Charlotte's a really good team. If you look at them statistically, they belong in the ACC, with 1, the talent they have on the roster, but then 2, just how they play and how well they've done dating back to last year and then going into this season. So for us to come out, I thought we had a great edge on defense and really set the tone for how the game was going to be played. And then on offense, we just shared it. Just everybody was touching it. We shot 50% from the field, over 50% from 3, really because we were just consumed with winning, consumed with competing. And for me, it was probably the best collective effort and edge that we've had to date. And now we can't just do it one time. We need to build from it and continue to do that.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness isn't about what you've done, it's about what you do next. By Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. And by Coke Zero Sugar. They say Coke Zero is irresistibly tasty. Does that make it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter, that electrolytes are all the same. Then just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Create a backyard that's out of this world. Right now, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld battery pruner. Real steel. Find yours.
I need to try it first.
Well, I've learned very quickly the most important thing is your staff. And, when we lost Emile to the Boston Celtics, which was a great opportunity for him, it was really important that we brought someone in that could complement what our staff has already built, with Chris Carrawell, with Jay Lucas, fortunate to have Mike Stragi, part of the staff. And Emanuel Dildy has been such a great addition. His experience in the sport of college basketball, coaching all different levels, He's a great teacher on the floor, but also he's great with relationships and building the trust of our players. And then you bring a guy in like Will Avery, who's been in our program, was a lottery pick, came back the last couple of years to finish his degree, which is an incredible thing. But his expertise has been terrific. And then with the new NCAA rule, we're able to add one more person to our staff in kind of crazy circumstances. And we are fortunate by it with Justin Robinson. His season, he was playing professionally overseas, and his season got postponed, and it opened up an opportunity for him to be able to come back here. And me and him had a couple conversations and felt like it was the right time for him to come back to our staff. And he's been an outstanding addition to already great staff.
It's been incredible. Definitely when the game started, getting the experience of Cameron. I've never been in a place like that before. Even in games that not are necessarily, the most hyped up games in some of our, Southern Indiana's, and just the crowd, the excitement behind the program, the support behind the program are things I hadn't seen in my years of college basketball. So that's just been a great experience for me.
I've known Emanuel for some time now. We first met when he was an assistant for Chris Collins at Northwestern, and obviously Chris and I are very close, and got to just watch E from afar and just observe, but also we've just kept in touch through the years. And going through the first year of hiring Jay Lucas, you get to meet a couple more people, and I obviously interviewed more than just Jay. Emanuel was one of those people, and I got to know him at an even better level, but we have a Chicago connection. He's from there. He's just a great person first and foremost. And, for our guys, they're learning how to become young men and role models and contributing members to our society. You want to be around good people first and foremost, and Emanuel is that through thick and thin. And that's what I'm proud of, bringing him here.
We've known a lot of the same people because we come from the same basketball community in Chicago. We actually played with the same AAU program, but at different times, but for the same coach. And then my time at Northwestern is when we really, got to establish a relationship, and we've talked, and so going through that process, and then my time at Oklahoma early on, recruiting Jordan Goldwire, having a lot of talks with Coach during that recruitment process, and just staying in constant communication, whether it be about basketball, about recruiting. So it's just been a process, and I thought we really hit it off and really connected. This was way before he ever was even considering being a head coach here at Duke, and we just stayed in good communication. Again, just knowing a lot of the same people as well, and being from the same place helped aid that as well.
When he catches the ball, elite pressure on him, force him to become a driver. All right, don't let him see those back cuts. Don't let him see the slips. All right, you still got to close out.
I was born into a coaching family. My dad's a 35-year coach before he passed away. My uncles are all coaches, coach at Division I level. So it's kind of in my blood. I come from a huge basketball family, and once I decided to stop playing, to be honest, it wasn't even like an option. It's something that had been done in my family for years. My mom even was a coach. So my parents are teachers and educators. I think coaching is teaching and educating. And so it was kind of a natural transition for me. I don't even know if it was much of an option. I love it. It was in my blood. And so here I am today. There's
an amazing culture and identity that we've had here through the years with Duke basketball, what it means, what it stands for. And in different moments, if you look, over the past few decades, there's been a couple opportunities for outside coaches to come in here and make a great impact. And I've had two of them, with Emanuel and with Jay. They're well-versed in the game of basketball. They've worked for great coaches, and their perspective has been very helpful for me, just having a different way of thinking at times and different way of doing things tied in with the amazing culture that we already have had built in here. It's been a great addition for us, and I don't know if that will continue going forward, but for our staff in this point in time, it was definitely the right thing for us.
I'm big on learning.
no matter how old, no matter how many years I've been in the business, I think people should be everlasting learners. And so I looked at it as another situation just after talking to Coach Scheyer that I can come here and I can also learn. Not only can I contribute and help, but it was another situation, another step for me to continue learning just about everything. And so what got me excited was the opportunity to come and even learn more and even grow as a coach here. So I love teaching. My mom was a social studies teacher. My dad was a history teacher and a coach. And so, education and teaching is something that I truly value. I have a passion to do. I think coaching is just another form of teaching. The other thing is I like watching help, young men, reach their goals. And I like helping them go through some adversity at times is what you go through as a coach. And so those things, combined, lead to the real passion I have for the profession.
You get to know people by just through recruiting, and sometimes you play against their teams. I never got to play against Coach Dildy, but I got to know him a lot through recruiting, and we have a bunch of mutual friends. And the one thing you always noticed about him was just his energy. He's one of those guys who always is smiling and always jumping around and popping around. So he's one of those guys you always notice just their vibes.
They've welcomed me with open arms. I mean, everybody from Coach Carrawell to Coach Lucas, Rachel Baker, Will A, Coach Shragi. I mean, just the welcoming of everybody here that's tried to make my transition as seamless as possible has been amazing.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down.
They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same. Then just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Could be the difference between dominating and disappearing. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
People have trusted Reed's Jewelers with their life's moments since 1946. That's because we're family owned. We treat everyone who walks through our doors or visits our website as a part of our family. We have a beautiful selection of jewelry and watches for any occasion. We offer free shipping and returns, as well as multiple payment options to make sure you find the perfect gift. See why people have trusted Reed's Jewelers to celebrate their life's moments for over 75 years.
When you're injured, you should not be ignored by the insurance company.
We know the amount seems low, but this is what your case is worth.
Just click here.
We understand you can't work. Click at the bottom. You want more.
Call a law firm that will fight for the justice you deserve.
You weren't gonna click that, were you?
Tell them you mean business. Call the law offices of James Scott Farron on the Hurt Line right now.
Duke's new century cries out for a university where the drive to discover is not hemmed by disciplinary logics, where philosophers work side by side with physicians and physicists, where nurses find inspiration in narrative theory, where mechanical engineers team up with marine biologists or musicians. I believe Duke will continue to be that university, together.
Into the corner it goes. McCain, a baseline drive. Got airborne, flipped it back up top for Proctor. Plenty of time, 14 to shoot. Off of a screen, set my flip. Wants to drive into the paint, all the way in. Scoop it off the left window. It crawled out. They fight for the rebound. And we get a whistle and a tie-up, and the alternating possession is going to give it to Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets with a 3-2 lead in the early going. As we also have an injury for the Blue Devils, it looks to be Tyrese Proctor, who was down after the play. And you just hope that he's all right.
When you're missing a player like Tyrese Proctor, one, everybody needs to step up because he's such a critical part of our team and what we've done. But two, it's an opportunity for our team to elevate and to become even better. So when Tyrese comes back, he's not coming back to the same team. He's coming back to a team that's in a better place, more confidence, more toughness, and you hope to find some new things and for other guys to emerge. And so for our guys, it's a great opportunity for Jalen Blakes. For our team, it's a great opportunity for Caleb to get more comfortable with the ball in his hands and defending and doing all the things that he needs to do. Our entire team, we need to step up. And so not knowing what Tyrese exactly how long it's going to be. Of course, it's an extended enough period of time where we need to understand what it's like playing without him, but also understand what we're going to have to do when Tyrese gets back to get him back in the lineup and to be a better team with him.
Duke Basketball 360, presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires.
Kane takes it, working his way into the paint, rises up and scores with the right hand. Weak side rebound for Filipowski. Nice hit ahead for McCain. One-on-one, he'll take it himself and lay it in through contacts. Mitchell the rebound. Here's Foster. Lob it ahead for Filipowski. Catches, kicks. McCain a three. Good. In the right corner. And Jared McCain is the first into double figures. He's got 12. Back to the middle. Back up top, Jared. Thought about a deep one. Instead, he'll drive. Room just inside the free throw line, and he gets it to go for two. McCain has 14.
Well, we have amazing belief in Jared as a player, but also on the offensive end. And he was coming off probably one of his worst shooting stretches he's ever had in his life. And, you know, I think there's a part of him that was a little bit baffled, you know, by some of the shots he was missing or the way he was playing, because he knows, look, he has great belief in himself, and his work gives him that edge and gives him that confidence. But I think it says a ton about his character. We lose the 2 games. He comes back. We watched film together. He put his head down and worked, and just watched some of the moves he can make stronger, but also understanding, don't overanalyze it. Some of these shots, they're going to go in for you. It's a law of averages. And to see him come out aggressive, confident, as a freshman, to do that is not easy, and says a lot about who he is and what's inside of him.
In the left corner, thought about a three. Instead, he'll go into the paint, rise up, and so it came out all the way around, but an offensive rebound for Foster, and McCain pays it off with a three. I guess he knew what he was doing, perhaps. Foster, another offensive rebound. McCain thought about a reload. Instead, he'll drive and score with the right hand. Whips across court for power. A touch pass for McCain. Three. Got it. Jared McCain picks up where he left off on Saturday. Bounce pass for McCain. Thought about a 3, steps closer, and buries the jumper from 2.
Well, you know, one thing about Jared is he's a freshman. So, you know, you're going to have your up and down. You're going to have your highs and your lows in the season. But the best thing about him also is his mindset and his work ethic. You know, ever since he got here in the summer in June, he's been one of our hardest workers. So, you know, those guys, you always feel eventually it's going to click and eventually it's going to work for him. But also there's a learning curve with being a freshman. So sometimes it takes each freshman different from when it will click and when it won't click, and when they're able to adjust. And he's done a good job of just staying the path and keeping his head down and working. He has a great energy about him. He's one of our best talkers and best, you know, leaders in the sense of bringing it every day. So he's a joy to work with.
Roach head up, sprinting down court to the left corner, McCain. How about a 3? Why not?
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
These mascots represent some of the most heated rivalries in college sports. What could possibly bring them all together? Everyone agrees on the best team in smart home security. CPI.
Statistically, the world is losing color. But who wants a gray world when we could have this? Honey yellow, periwinkle, indigold. Things stay the same when the same is where you stay. But in hundreds of Delta destinations, simply opening your eyes can open your world.
We still believe
in the American dream.
A dream filled with promise.
A dream filled with commitment to our neighbors and our communities.
Where we work hard and succeed together.
Where we take care of those who serve for us.
SRS delivers with integrity and purpose.
Through the fastest growing family of independents in the country.
Company by company.
Person by person.
Rooftop by rooftop.
SRS Distribution delivers more than building products. SRS delivers dreams.
When we don't have any games and we have exams, the biggest thing is to not just maintain, but to continue to improve our shape, because it's just, it can take a mental toll on our guys. They're taking real exams and real take-home exams, real papers. They have real work to do, and so for our guys to make sure that we're keeping their shape, it's a great individual time to improve individual skill, but also watching film and to really get on the court personally with our guys as opposed to just doing all team. So it'll be more individual plus the team plus conditioning to make sure when we play Baylor, shape isn't an issue, skill level isn't an issue, and then the mental and physical fatigue that you could have after exams doesn't come into place. We've always loved playing in Madison Square Garden and playing in New York, and it's something I remember even my freshman year as a player that we did. And we have a ton of fans up that way, which is an amazing thing for us, so we always try to get back up to the Northeast, particularly New York, particularly to play in the Garden, which is one of the most iconic places you could ever play a basketball game. And so for us, try to make it a big-time opponent, try to make it somebody different that we normally wouldn't play. And it's going to be a big test and a big challenge, before you go on a short Christmas break. You play against a team like Baylor, you're going to be tested. It's going to be it's when you play a neutral site game, it's just like playing an NCAA tournament game, and you have to win on neutral sites. Of course, winning on the road is important, winning at home is important, but being able to win in a neutral site court is a big deal, and so it's an honor to play in the Garden and play against an opponent like Baylor.